move now to the second panel, and also high level with Andreas moderating. I have David from Cluj, International Airport CEO, and also President of Romania Airports Association, and also Angelos Astrinidis, the CEO of aviBright, an IT really amazing company, doing a great job. And last but not least, Nikos Sofiadis, the CEO of Goldair Airline Service, the GSA branch of the best company in Greece in every aspect of handling, cargo and so on. Then, Andrea, over to you.
Thank you so much, Kostas. I understand this is the last session of a very long day. I know we're all tired, but again, I think we have some very interesting things to discuss, but we'll keep it short and concise. So again, the very topic is about the relationship between aviation and tourism, and as we mentioned earlier, we also need to consider all the recent geopolitical challenges. So David, I will start with you. Have you seen any changes recently as a result of all this disruption that we've been experiencing in the Middle East? Has this affected the Romanian market?
Yes, there are a lot of changes. In Cluj, we are the second airport in Romania, 2.5 million this year. Bucharest is the biggest, 16 million, 1/6. We used to have a flight to Tel Aviv, of course, is not anymore this flight. Regarding tourism, of course, there is religious tourism to Jerusalem, also business traffic. So probably for a long time the flight to Tel Aviv will not be. And also regarding the geopolitical situation, flights, part of flights are longer because they have to reroute. In terms regarding Ukraine, we have a border with Ukraine. A lot of Ukrainians flew from Romania, especially in Moldavia, Iași, Suceava, because their airports did not work. In a period, Chișinău airport from Moldavia was very limited, and Lufthansa and Wizz Air, they were afraid to fly it mostly during night, and they reduced operations. So we had a lot of Ukrainians. Our country helped Ukrainians. They paid the rent. They can work, but a lot they flew to Germany and other countries. So we were mostly for transit for Ukraine.
Do you think the disruption is going to be temporary, or do you envisage any longer-term repercussions?
Well, probably concerning Tel Aviv will be longer. Probably regarding this, and we'll see what happens in future.
Yeah. Angela, coming to you, I would like to say a few things about aviBright and how that relates to aviation tourism.
First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's an honor to meet leaders. I'm still a pretty young software company. We develop software for airlines. We had the privilege to work the last 12 years with Aegean Airlines, which was helping us, introducing us to this amazing industry, these amazing people. We try to create innovative software to optimize and automate processes for the airlines. We've done a lot of projects around disruption management, crew portal, baggage mishandling, fraud management, and many, many more. And our strategy right now is these solutions to productize and promote them to other airlines around the globe. We already signed some nice contracts also in the Middle East, but also far, far away in Asia, in Fiji, and in Emirates. We're trying to help optimize the process of the airline. specifically the backhaul.
What about the disruptions that we just discussed? You think it's going to affect your business or not?
Yeah, actually it did, because we're already almost ready to sign a contract with an Israeli company, and now we're a bit worried, although these guys are still working like nothing has happened. But definitely we are afraid that this will affect us. But you know, as a technology company, I don't see an immediate affecting this, because we're looking around in other areas also. So we're still developing the software we create, and we're still promoting them in other areas. So for us, if you see it clearly, we don't have a direct effect to that. But of course, you know, all the turbulence will hit all the economy, so you never know.
Great. And Nico, Goldair has experienced a great expansion at an international level over the last few years. What about the current disruption? Is it important for you? What do you think?
I can't say right now. I'm sure it is important, but we cannot see how important it is, because nobody knows for how long the market will be disrupted. For sure about Greece, which is our main market today, the most significant part of our GDP. The problem with the Israeli flight is really big, which affects also Cyprus, which is our second significant market. Because Israelis were they substituted for the Russian, the Greek tourism, as the incoming tourism. We had the Russians until 2019, 20, somewhere before COVID they stopped. And then they were substituted as a nation, as a number of tourism by Israelis. So Greek tourism did not suffer so much from this loss after the war with Ukraine. Now we're about to lose our second, let's say, market, which is really one of the most significant. I would say that the Americans have become number one exporter. They're large in numbers. I think we have close to 70 flights per week right now from the US, direct flights. And we have also to Los Angeles. I was flying to Los Angeles a few days ago. But this may cause problems if this war, let's say, extends in time. I believe we are trying the country to substitute with new, let's say, markets, as India, as you said before, which new route is starting will close to the end of the year by Indigo, and Aegean is about to start in 2027, based on their plan. I think that is their plan. That's what they say. I read it very recently, maybe earlier as well. They are planning and they're working with that direction throughout this year. So I believe that the general plan is to have, let's say, a bigger spread in the market, and to have more, let's say, incoming tourism. There was an effort with China. That has not resumed after COVID as it was before. So after we had the hit with Russia, we had the hit with Ukraine as well. We had a lot of Ukrainians coming in. Now I believe that there are efforts to substitute with the numbers with others. So of course it will be significant. Nobody knows how much. It depends on the length of this war. And of course there are probably we're going to face some cancellations this year from long-haul flights, because they will be afraid that they are coming in a dangerous region, even if it is not a dangerous country or market or island or wherever everybody is going. Probably people from the US will say that I don't want to go close to a war in Ukraine, close to a war in Israel, close to a war in Iran. So this is sitting in the map. It creates some insecurity to somebody that does not know exactly the geopolitics and the situation as it is. I believe that there is no risk at all for Greece or Cyprus, zero risk. But people cannot know that. If they are far away, they will think twice. Qatar and Spain was just close right now.
planes are diverting to go through region. You remember some years ago when the war in Ukraine started, there were some flights that were hit by missiles for no reason, just because they were in the area. So people might be interested. This is not north. They're coming mostly for tourism. They're not going for business or for some seriously safe airport. So probably they say, okay, let's go to Mallorca, let's go to Barbados or something. Or why to go close to 2-3 war, let's say, regions. So there is an insecurity. Yeah. Now that is from a longer term perspective and leaving the disruption behind. There seems to be a greater issue about a mismatch between demand and supply. So in tourism, for example, we've been discussing about over-tourism and reactions that emerge as a result of having too many flows, too high flows of tourists compared to the current capacity of destinations. In the aviation context, we keep discussing the mismatch that exists in certain markets like the Indian one between air traffic flows on one hand and airport and air traffic control capacity on the other. How is the situation in Romania and wearing the hat of the president of Romanian airports? What do you think about the future in this?
Regarding air traffic and tourism, we still have big potential. In 96, in total Romania, the traffic was 2 million in 96, 26 million last year. So a big increase. Regarding tourism, I consider we do not promote enough Romania as a destination. Also, we have Constanța at the seaside. They have 150,000 passengers. Before 89, a lot of touristic sites from Nordic countries, from Sweden, Norway, they went to the seaside. Not far from Constanța is Varna, 200 kilometers, Burgas, another 200 kilometers. Varna, they have 2 million passengers per year. Burgas 3 million, and Constanța 150,000. So we should promote more the country. Also, we organize events and foreigners which came, including Michael Kellogg. He said, well, you do not promote Transylvania. Nobody knows about your country. He said from Munich to Hamburg it's 1.5 hour flight, same from Munich to Cluj, and nobody knows about Cluj. We still have big potential also regarding passengers. As Costin said, will be double in future. Other European countries, they have 3-4 times more passengers than the population. Also low cost helped a lot. Tourism, we have weekend tourism. They discovered we have more than 40 destinations. They discover our country, but we have to improve the facilities. Unfortunately, we do not have good highways, no good railway. It is an advantage for aviation, but disadvantage for tourism. Regarding business and tourism, we are like an island, because only by plane you can come. From Cluj to Bucharest, there are 400 kilometers. By train, it's 11 hours to go by train. So
by car?
By car, 9 hours, 8-9 hours.
If you would get it.
Depending on the traffic and depending on the traffic. Now they work for highways, so it's aviation. They should focus more on aviation, more on tourism to improve tourism facilities.
What about the available airport capacity and traffic control capacity? Is it sufficient to accommodate all these things?
It's not sufficient. Regarding, there are 15 airports in Romania. Bucharest is the capital. Now they have a plan for development, but it will take time. It is very congested. Now it's a tender to design a totally new terminal, but it will take time. It's very congested. The regional airports, we had a very good program and we received European money for infrastructure, for security, for safety, and we managed to increase our capacity. In Cluj, we have a plan for 7 million passengers. In 2040, we will have 7 million. We extended our departure terminal. We have capacity up to 5 million, but probably will be crowded. So we will build a totally new terminal. Apron, we want to extend our apron. It is very important to extend the capacity. In the next 15 years, Romanian airports, they have to double everything. Infrastructure, apron, terminal.
Angela, coming to you, congestion management, is this something of interest to your company to provide solutions for congestion management, to help the airlines deal with capacity?
Not directly, but we're doing a lot of stuff around disruption management. So,
can you tell us a bit more about it?
what happens when cancellation or a delay happens? You have to speed up the process to accommodate the passengers, either for rebooking a new flight or providing amenities. Depending on the number of delays of the delay duration. So what we're doing is we're trying to automate this process. We've done a nice piece of software, including now AI. So automatically the agent of the airline can rebook the disrupted passenger in a new flight, and also by integrating with companies that provide these solutions, we provide amenities as hotel, as coupons. So this to have how can I say a passenger not to be angry, to be satisfied as much as possible. So yeah, this is one area. The other area is to provide tools to the airline and the crew to provide the service in an optimized way in order to avoid delays. So we're digitizing everything for the crew on the plane, providing a mobile application, having all the information they need before, during, and after the flight, having all the information for the passenger to provide all the services necessary to avoid delays. So at the end, avoiding delays can serve more passengers. Another thing we're doing, cooperation also with ground handlers, is the management of mishandling bags, which is another thing. We try to automate this and speed up the process of matching a lost bag with a passenger that lost the bag. So we try to do some innovative software, always integrating with the big guys. With the big systems like Amadeus, like Ciceo, the big guys. So we're providing smart, innovative tools to give added value to the big investments that we're doing.
And Nico, coming to delays, because we don't only experience flight delays, we have also delays with baggage handling, and most passengers don't know what a ground handler is, but obviously you're only in this context. So again, have you experienced any disruption issues as a result of this mismatch between demand and supply, any capacity issues, any how all this is related to labor shortage? What do you think about that?
It's a rather complex issue. It is there, it is a reality. It's something that we all see and we try to resolve. In the previous years, it was a matter of lack of human resources, of workers in the ground handling sector. And with all ground handlers globally, I would say, but in Europe, of course, maybe more, and the States, there was a very big, difference between supply and demand for the workforce. This problem we are trying to resolve Goldair handling by importing workers from abroad.
importing workers from the Philippines and from India, based on some changes in the local laws that permit to bring people from third countries to work in Greece in these kind of sectors, such as tourism, such as agriculture, etc. So what we are doing, last year we had approximately 120 Filipino workers coming in just for the season. This year we're going to have more than 250 workers coming in from Philippines and India. They're already, some of them have already arrived, which is a rather expensive process. Everybody here in Greece believes that when you bring workers from abroad, you do it in order to for cost reduction. This is a lie in our case, because we need to pay them exactly the same minimum wage as we do pay the Greek workers, but we also have to pay for their tickets in order to come in, to be repatriated at the end of the term. We have to pay for their accommodation. We pay for 1 meal per day. And we pay for some kind of security for them, some insurance, I would say. So for us it's approximately twice the cost of hiring local, but there are no locals to hire. So since our SPAs with airlines do not permit delays anymore because COVID is over, there are no excuses, you have to deliver. We went to this very, very expensive solution. Imagine the Filipino workers, we are paying them 5 times more than they are paid in Manila. So when they come here, this is their dream job. They're so happy when they arrive, and they're happy for the whole term. Of course, they're not paying for accommodation, they're not paying for everything. We even rented a whole hotel in Athens. We renovated it, and we have our people working, living there. And also Airbnbs and whatever other kind of accommodation you can imagine. Now we're in the process of buying or creating, let's say, a place for them. Because they're very large in numbers. Imagine 250 people on 6 or 9 months terms in Athens. Athens is a very difficult place to find an Airbnb or a room, a small apartment to rent.
That's because you're taking them
local. So you can imagine how expensive this is and how much this decreases our margins. However, with airlines, as you can understand, we have specific requirements. We have to have, let's say, 5 workers for the bags and 3 cleaners, and so we have very specific, let's say, agreements with the airlines. We have to honor that. So we have no other solution than to import people from abroad.
I have a question. Are you able to pass those costs to the customers? Because it's all relative, right? And if there are some problems faced by all here, is it possible to?
I can tell you in a very, very large extent. We're not able because the market here is very small. It's only 2 players actually. So you cannot increase the prices very easily. Also, our contracts are mostly 3-year contracts. So for at least 3 years we have a gap. So we have to pay for the increased cost until we are able, probably, after negotiation or after a tender procedure, to pass or not to pass part of this cost. Also, in the past years, the government has increased the minimum salary increase for, I don't know how much, 40%. I don't remember exactly the percentage. So we cannot even pass that to our customers, not extra cost or double or triple the cost. So this is a very, very, this is the only thing we can do actually in order to tackle the problem. We believe it has very good results up to now because these people are very eager to work. They're very good at their work. They respect their work. They don't quit so easily because it is very important for them and they have fixed contracts. So we have a less turnover during the season, which is rather important as well. Because here in Greece we have other issues too. We have bureaucratic issues with the airports. Nobody is here from Maya, but I can say that. In order for somebody to work at the airport, you need to have your background check. So this background check, if you and me go, and you can do it through the internet, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I don't know, WeGov. In 4 hours you can have your background checked and you are approved. If you are to work at the airport, this has to be done manually. You authorize the airport to do so on your behalf, and that may take up to a month. During the summer season, it takes more than a month, it takes probably 40 days. For this period, we have to hire people, we have to train people, we have to pay people, and they cannot work at the airport because they cannot work in the restricted areas. So they can only be accompanied by another worker of ours, so we pay two for jobs that one can perform. So there are issues, there are problems.
Are there any communication problems with these people?
No, with the foreigners,
Yeah.
with the foreigners, no communication problems because the Filipino workers, they are very good at English. They work in tourism globally, they work in the cruise ships around the world, or in the Greek-owned, let's say, vessels, commercial vessels, tankers and container ships and bulk carriers. So they're very good in communicating, they're very good in working with Greeks, they are used to working with Greeks. I would say they have a better mentality than Greek workers, to be honest. They're very, very good. They're hard workers as well. So there's no issue there. The problems are larger and they take more time to resolve.
Great. So how much, because it sounds like the resourcing is very tight, and how much does schedule variability due to disruption impact your cost structure? Because if you have, flights delayed, flights coming in early, gate holds, you have to find more crews because you have to meet the flights, and you have baggage delivery standards and all of this. So is that a big concern?
It's a big concern. It's a big problem in practice, actually. If you go to Athens International Airport, you will see in the morning the delays are like 0 to half an hour. But as the day goes, as we approach the night hours, the delays go up to 1.5 or 2 hours.
And that's because of ATC,
The problem is
taxis,
mostly now it is not based, it is not due to the inability of the handlers of the airlines or the human resources anymore. It's more air traffic control issues at the moment. And I would say that the whole capacity of the airport now, the airport is now considered smaller than the need, than the demand. Up to 2-3 years ago, it was okay, but now they are already approving plans to extend, to enlarge in a very big scale, I would say. So it will take some time until again the capacity will be, let's say, it will be okay.
so you have to overstaff.
We have to overstaff. Usually we have a lot of overtime.
Right.
We have lots more overtime.
Yeah.
We don't hire more people for that, but people extend their working hours, which again in Greece is a problem because in order to extend the working hours of a worker, of any worker, you have to declare that before the delay, before the overtime starts. So imagine that this is a bit, you don't know when a flight will be delayed. You cannot predict when the disruption will happen. But you need, and in case you do not declare beforehand, there is a penalty of 10,400 euros, if I am correct, 10,500 euros per case, per worker, per finding.
If you force them to stay.
Yes, if you force him to stay, you have not declared beforehand. So this is an interconnected system right now. So whatever happens, you have to find ways to serve your customer without, let's say, being penalized, without doing something that is against the law. So, there are things that we need to change in the law in order to become more pragmatic, more realistic, and more close to the needs of the specific industry. Because we're not talking about a 9-to-5 office hours. We're not talking about something that you can predict. We're talking about airline industry. Everybody knows here that this is something that...
Do they pass their EU 261 fines on to you or no?
I don't know.
No, because it's B2B, so 261 refers directly to the...
Right, but the airlines, if the ground handler causes a delay on the outbound flight
Yeah,
from the staff...
what is going to happen is the consumer will file a complaint against the airline, and then the airline can file a complaint against the ground handler.
Yes.
Which is rather complex and unlikely to happen.
Great, and typically when we talk about aviation tourism, our main emphasis is on passengers, but I think we should not underestimate the role of cargo. I mean, typically cargo is about the supply chain, but tourists also have needs. They act as consumers, and they also have an impact on the supply chain as well. So, David, how important is cargo for your airport and Romanian airports in total, and what's the role of tourism in this context?
Cargo, we don't have much cargo, we'll increase. Now we prepare our facilities, we have DHL, FedEx and others. Bucharest, of course, they have more cargo. Also, it was a delay in cargo because we were not part of Schengen. Only last year we became part of Schengen. But coming back a bit regarding workforce, it is the same situation in Romania. No more Romanian workers. So we bring from Asia. This year Romania will bring 100,000 Asian workers from Philippines, from Vietnam, from Sri Lanka, and each year we'll bring 100,000. Now you can find in Bucharest, in Cluj, in restaurants, delivery, only if they work in delivery. Already we have, there are Hellenic companies, they have from Ethiopia. Unfortunately, Romanians, they went to work in UK, Spain, Italy, and not anymore workers. Well, this, of course, they will generate a traffic in this, because they will travel once a year at least, but it is quite expensive, and also they consume almost nothing, and they send back home all their money. So we only replace the workforce, so it will be a big problem. The salary is increased in Romania. 91, 92, an engineer, the salary net, it was $80 per month, 80. Everybody left. United States, it was International Monetary Fund and other things do not increase salary. What happened? All the workforce left. And now we bring Asians for this. Regarding cargo, we want to increase, will increase. It doubled during COVID. I think everybody, all the airports, cargo was doubled because they made orders, and it is very important.
Do you see any problems emerging because of the trade war with the US and the rise in protectionism in general?
There is a concern because if there is not big support from USA, if it is not big support, a part of investors will be very present probably. So it will be there are a lot of factors. Also regarding Romania, which now try to have a dialogue with Trump administration.
Angela, do you have any solutions for
No, we don't.
is this of interest to you?
Not now. We're more in the commercial passenger standard. And just to add something about the labor, until last year, I would say last year, we also had a huge problem finding high-level experienced developers in Greece because a lot of people went to abroad and were trying to outsource from Ukraine or Romania or other areas. Now we see a decline in demand because AI affects us a lot, so we're doing a lot of stuff much faster with AI. So there's a strange thing here in our technology. We are seeing that there's going to be an issue with junior developers. We will not need junior people. We will need directly medium or senior people. And our big thinking and our worry is how a junior guy will be experienced. So this is a tricky part in our area. But at this point, we see that the demand of technology developers is stabilizing. Also, the market was crazy with salaries. To get a good developer, it's extremely expensive. Nothing to do with these numbers, like 3-4 times these numbers. So it was a big headache. But now this is balancing, and we'll see how it will go. Concerning the cargo, at least our company does not target it. Well, it's always a matter of opportunities.
What is this of interest to you? There are opportunities there, we can discuss later.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think the aviation industry needs cargo software.
Yeah, okay, but it's that, at least until now we haven't.
It is a bit undeveloped.
That's what I hear.
In our area, in the ground handling, it's going so well that we had to rent new warehouses. We expanded, I think last week we expanded in area, we took another warehouse where the El Tau was, so we needed more space for that. However, we need more people as well. When you have another warehouse, you need again extra people. It's not only because you need more, let's say, duty managers, etc., etc. So it is another, let's say, settlement. However, the issue is that the profits have gone down, although the tons have gone up. So after COVID, the market globally, everybody got accustomed to transport cargo via air. The prices were really, really high back then. I would say that they are as an average 5 times lower now than 3 years ago. However, the idea of transporting things this, let's say, way, it remains. Of course, there's a lot of competition now, so the fares are going down. But there is a lot of, let's say, tolerance.
Right.
About what you said about the Trump administration and the tariffs, etc., there is an effect in the Greek market, especially from whatever is coming from China to Europe. We have some charter flights, so they are affected a bit. But I would say, in general, it is not so significant. It is something that we believe it is going to fade away. And I believe the importance of cargo is growing for the airlines, at least in our region.
Great. Okay, it's 8 o'clock, so I think we can close the discussion. Any last words before we close?
We are optimistic. Now, as my colleague said, technology really impressed a lot in system, and
Nikos?
I would say that it's like football managers say when they have all players healthy and they can put everybody to play the game, they say this is a positive headache. I believe this is the era of the positive headache because there is a lot of business, there is a lot of demand, there is a lot of turnover in all of our, let's say, sub-industries in the ecosystem. So these problems are good problems. We have experienced bad problems very recently. I think most of us have forgotten about the difficult era that in this, let's say, summer forum here we discussed years ago, when the ministers had the lead, let's say they were the stars of this, let's say, and the actions taken by the government and how to resolve the issue was the most important thing. And we were all here saying if we are going to survive or not. Now we are saying all these problems are problems of fine-tuning, because there is demand, there is work, there are flights, it will be a record for Greece probably this year, a record of incoming tourism. We will have more than 38 million people coming over. in a country of 10 million. We have more airlines than ever, more flights than ever before. So I would say we have to be optimistic, we have to be positive, because positive problems is not something that will really disrupt our existence. It's only for better. Thank you.
For me, technology is underneath all of it. So for us, the technology is clear, it's extremely challenging, and we're very optimistic. One thing that I would love is decision making to be much faster. Like the airlines that we are cooperating, especially outside of Greece, extremely slow in decision making, and I think they're losing the go-to-market advantage in processes that sometimes must be much faster decision making. So yeah, we're here to create innovative products to help all of you guys, and thank you, Costa, for inviting me, and it's an honor to be with leaders in this industry.
Great, so I think we can conclude the discussion here, and let's give a